So hello and welcome back to our in between rounds program, because since we have Martin here, and it would be a real shame not to use this opportunity asking questions. Probably you had some questions. You can write us in the chat. Maybe you had some things about Premodern. How did it start? Why this is banned? Why this is unbanned? Our friend, I was just coming in, and my friend was like, "Don't forget to ask him about Entum."
So I was not the first person asking about Entum today.
And he was like, "I was just testing with Entum, but now it's like 15. It's totally not overpowered." So
it's a popular demand.
So we would like to use this. Maybe you have some questions. We definitely have some questions. We would like to ask exactly that, maybe how Premodern started, how you got with this idea. Martin was maybe trying to avoid it because he was trying to poison us with this.
Yeah, actually, so I brought some sweets and treats from our Nordic countries. This is the sweet licorice pie.
In some countries, that's a nuclear waste. We call it sweet.
Yeah, in Sweden we have this thing called lördagsgodis, which will mean Saturday candy. So Saturday is where we eat the candy. That's where we get the kids candy. But now you're already like strongly. Said that you don't eat this kind of thing. So
I would say that we're very split in the team, where like me and Tomáš are on the side that we're not such a big fans, but there are other people like Stepan here.
I should not offer another one here to our tech guy in the back here.
Pass it around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it a pipe?
Okay. And you don't use that word like pendrek or bendrek. You don't call it like that. That's German.
Or German.
Yes. No, you don't say that. Okay, that's fine. Because it's like a funny name for this, because it's from Berendrek, which means like bear's poop.
Okay.
Like that.
It comes from German.
That's where it comes from. It's from German.
Okay.
And in Czech we call it Pendrek. That's okay. Anyway, but I have to say I'm not strongly against Swedish things. I even tried I even tried that rotten fish you sell in the cans.
Okay.
I tried that.
Yeah, but that's hardcore.
That was actually quite good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
that one I didn't even try myself.
You never ate it.
But they say it smells worse than it tastes.
It smells horrible. Yeah. It's literally like a rotten fish. But they make it rot in a certain way. So then you can eat it and you don't die.
It's not harmful.
Fermented.
Yes,
I've heard about it as well. I've never had the chance to try it.
Yes.
I think if I'm in the right situation, I might give it a go, especially since Tomáš recommended it and I trust his opinion. But
yes, but maybe you should try the licorice.
Yeah.
But maybe we should maybe go back to Premodern, and I was
You catch photobombing at the back.
Yeah, another licorice. How do you even say it in English? Licorice. Yeah, hater. He actually kind of spat it out, so it must not be very popular here.
Sometimes he doesn't have manners, so I think.
Okay.
Anyway, so I probably you explained this so many times, but where did you get this idea from? To have that Premodern.
How did it start? When did it
start?
Yeah, I mean it was in a period in my life when I kind of switched from more competitive Magic to more casual Magic, because a lot of things happening in life, and I just felt stressful to keep up with the tournament pace of things with all the new sets and everything. Yes. So I started playing 93, 94 old school, and I enjoyed that a lot. Still do every now and then, but I felt quite quickly that format was kind of solved quite early, but also that you had a lot of other nice old cards that were just sitting there and not seeing any play, and that's basically the pre-modern card pool, because the format modern, which was back then, I mean, fairly new, but it was growing, and Wizards were promoting it, but that meant all of those cards sitting in between, 93, 94, and the modern format, they wouldn't see play except for, I mean, few exceptions, really powerful cards that will make their way into formats like Legacy and Vintage and maybe Commander. But with power creep and whatnot, a lot of the cards were just didn't make the cut for other formats. These cards were also dirt cheap because there were no demand for them, but they were super sweet. I mean, sweet mechanics, sweet artwork, as you know, and I thought there should be a home for them as well. So that's where the idea came from.
No, I think it's amazing because that's true. Like there are so many I don't know, Rebels and things like that. You know, like these kind of cards, Blastoderm. These cards are not really playable anywhere. So I like that.
This was, which year was this roughly? Was this
2012.
2012. So quite a long time ago then, actually.
Yeah.
Because my impression was that Premodern kind of became a thing internationally around COVID time, I would say, or maybe like
just before. Maybe
it was before.
Yeah. So what was the word?
What it was like 2018, 2019, wasn't it?
I mean, the truth is, it not a lot happened in those first year. We were a very small group, basically a play group in Sweden and mostly in Stockholm, playing it on a very non-regular basis. We had some discussions, but I mean, yeah. I had like a gauntlet of decks that I built, so I could share in some events. I could share a couple of decks, and we played it very casually. And then eventually, I shared the idea with like the Swedish community. I got some input. I mean, from the different Swedish communities, and kind of discussing like what should the ban list be, because I think the set list pretty much defined itself, except for some details like should Fall Empires be there or not, like these special sets, promo cards, should they be, but these are more details. So the sets were pretty much there, and then it was more about the ban list. And like
you had a ban list straight away from the beginning, which you just tuned, or like how much did it change?
I mean, we changed it a little bit. We changed it around a little bit in the beginning. I mean, mostly based on reasoning, because we couldn't get in that amount of games. But then at some point I felt, okay, this is good enough. We need any way to play it and put the idea out there to see how the ban list holds up. And I think the ban list was, generally speaking, a little bit conservative, I would say, meaning that it was more extensive than perhaps it would. Generally speaking, with some.
But one of the basic concepts was that you don't want dual lands. That's like the basic thing. Right?
That I should mention exactly. So I wanted the format to have like its own identity. Okay, so then you need to look at other formats. So it should not be like 93, 94. It should more be complementary. So I wanted to have my 93, 94 decks, for instance. I knew a lot of my friends like playing Legacy. I knew that they had like their Legacy decks with the dual lands and so on. I wanted to have my Premodern deck. Or decks, and I didn't want to like switch cards between them, right? I wanted, and I think that's a nice feature in many respects. I mean, first, you don't have that practical thing of using the same cards like in all formats. That's maybe a minor nuisance, but like in terms of card prices, it will make the format a lot more accessible when you don't have that threshold. Because honestly, if you had duels in the format with fetch lands, all the decks would use that engine.
So with the only mana base that you would see, basically. Right? Like
and that brings us to the distinctiveness. I already felt like, not that I played Legacy a lot, I just like dipped into it a little bit, but I mean, also Vintage, like tried very little, but it's very obvious that all of the mana bases there, like most of the mana bases, I would say, and with some exceptions like the mud decks and so on, but you would have like fetches into duels, and often they were blue based decks. You had Brainstorm and you have Force of Will, and that would be, and then you just fill up like with whatever rest of the, I mean, nothing wrong about this format. That has its own charm, but I just don't want to repeat that kind of game.
So you didn't want to have duels, and you didn't want to have Brainstorm. I think that's exactly, that was like the decision, and that's it. What was like given, right? And then and Force of Will.
Yeah, Force of Will. From my perspective, I knew like Force of Will here. Yeah, from my point of view, it was in the same category of cards that, like, all the blue decks played for Force of Will. I didn't like the idea of have this kind of go-to cards that you start like without even thinking. You just write down for Brainstorm, for Force of Will, like just, and then you write the other cards. And I think to some extent, I think I've succeeded with that. But of course, there will always be staples. I mean, now, I mean, you can imagine, card like Source of Closures is a staple. You could argue, but still, I didn't want to have that. You know, it just having all of those must-haves leaves less room for other cards to shine. So I wanted other cards to shine, and the fact is, like, if you cut the best card, I mean, then people will need to play with the next best card. So if Force of Will was legal, foil would never see play.
Right.
More or less, right? And so on. And if Brainstorm were legal, Portent would never see play. So in general, you have fun, good cards, substitutes that you can use as well. So that was part of it. So making
and isn't it? And I would argue, and I'm not arguing against it. And I think it's amazing that you can explain us this, because it's so clear. Isn't it that because you don't have this core that makes decks much more, like, let's say, stable, much more like do what they want to do? Isn't it that then you get more in Premodern into games that are a little bit more like rock paper scissors? I have that feeling a little bit more in Premodern than in other formats. You know, that sometimes it's some matchups are super hard against other matchups. Also the threats, because obviously it's not just creatures, it's like so many enchantments, so many artifacts, and so on. It feels like to catch all, to be able to answer it, you need different cards for different threats, right? So that was kind of my idea when I asked you before about, like, Force of Will is like the card that can keep it, you know, together, that can be like a general answer that's like disadvantage. Of course, you can always argue Dreadnought with Force of Will. I don't know if you want to see that.
Like, it's not just protection, but it's also a way how to make sure you actually push through dirty things, you know, like unfair things.
Yes.
I'd like
I mean, I see the argument is kind of a check, like, that stops crazy combos. So my approach was trying to nerf all the really crazy combos from the start. The exception, I would say, was Yawgmoth's Bargain, but that I was aware of that was an experiment from the start. But I would say that, well, like,
and that was banned, right? It's banned, Yawgmoth's Bargain.
Yeah, but not from the beginning.
Okay.
But now it is. Yeah, but
back
then I had a watch list, so that was on the watch list. I think from the beginning. Just wanted to try it out in this context, but
that's too good.
Yeah, and especially so, like, without the card like Force of Will, it's just too fast and too powerful. But yes. So the idea there was, I mean, to take down the power level a little bit, to make the format a little bit slower and kind of more towards like standard, the old standard, rather than, say, today's add-on Legacy or that were like extended back then. But with that said, I think there have been some changes to in the game rules, and I'm thinking about the Mulligan rules, because the Mulligan rules were different. I think it was this, if I remember correct now, it was the Scry Mulligan. Yeah. And actually, to be honest, the more I think about it, like the new Mulligan rules, they actually make some decks more. I think it more dangerous. Like cards like Goblin Lackey, for instance, or even Stifle Knot. These decks become way more consistent with a new Mulligan, and but I just put it out there because it was actually different back then. Goblin Lackey was worse, even if it was very good.
Because when Goblin mulligans to 5 and starts with Lucky, you don't have answer. Yeah, Square will die, right? And even if he goes to 5.
Like, it still requires some other boxes to tick, but
But I mean, but it definitely, I said it before. I think definitely Premodern is the format where you mulligan more than if mostly I can compare with Legacy. You definitely mulligan more, and it's correct, because if you just have spells and lands, that's sometimes not enough. Sometimes you have to think, what do you have, what's your play? Because when we saw the round 1 Romanza hand, like 3 lands counter spell and 3 drops or something like that, that
like Arena,
against Goblins on the it was on the play. Okay, we'll give him that. But I mean, that was definitely borderline.
But can I maybe just, like, you mentioned the Scry, I mean the old Mulligan with Scry, so is there any chance that you would be thinking about introducing the slightly older Mulligan version to Premodern?
Or damage on the stack?
Experimenting Damage on the stack, that's dead and buried. I would
Okay,
say.
damage on
Like,
the stack
that's-
is okay.
But no, I mean, like, seriously, is it something that you would think of?
I mean, we had a Paris and a London mulligan, right? So it's only time that we introduced the Berlin mulligan.
Okay, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
No, I'm joking, of course. No, but I'm fairly committed to just going with the contemporary rules as is. I mean, I think so far that has worked very well. I think it has been for the better for the format. It's so much clearer to communicate.
I guess.
For older players as well as for newer players and for everyone. So no, I don't have any.
And I have to say that a contra argument against like damage on the stack, because that's what we remember. We like the mock fanatic like that with damage on the stack, or that bushwhacker we saw earlier from Jakub. But the problem is that when we go to the beginning of the card pool of Premodern, there was no damage on the stack, right?
Of course.
So damage on the stack is introduced, if I'm not mistaken, 6th edition.
Yeah. This is like halfway through.
It's halfway through, so it was not even there from the start. So when we say good old days, but when exactly? It's good old
A
days.
card like Monk Fanatic was designed with the batch in mind and not damage on the stack. To take an example, but
So basically, we go back to the originals. It's like, so we made Mock Fanatic kind of great again, as it was intended. You know, Premodern play Mock Fanatic as it was intended.
and it's still great, and that's cool.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Exactly, I agree. Okay. Wonderful. Now, Martin, maybe I'm not sure when the next round is starting. I'm not sure how much time we have.
Right? I think.
We'll check. But tell me, when it comes to banning, bannings, do you think about something to be banned or unbanned, like N2? Asking for a friend, literally.
Like start
Asking for a
a
friend.
magic card market.
Was that a leading question? I don't know. I mean, I do enjoy keeping you all guessing. So playing this game here,
I think that's fair. I think that's the only way how to keep it fair.
So try not to give away too much here. But I mean, I'm happy to like discuss pros and cons of cards. I think there are clear pros and cons with at least most of the cards on the ban list. There's probably something that can come off in the future. As I can say so much, but there are also some interactions to consider. Just as an example, people sometimes talk about mystical tutor. Like, would that be okay? Maybe that would be okay, but maybe. And maybe Entomb would be okay, but would it be okay with both Mystical Tutor and Entomb? Just to give an example. So, and that makes the decisions also a little bit more complicated for me, because I can just not look at one card in isolation and say, okay, let's release Mystical Tutor now, because that would sort of make other cards more dangerous.
Because what's kind of funny is that Reanimate, she's like dominating Legacy right now. It's like one of the best cards. Like, it doesn't see play.
Because the creatures are not good.
The creatures are so bad.
That's actually the same thing. Like, I remember Show and Tell when it was unbanned 2 years ago, I believe, right? And just didn't really do much. So it was a very right thing to unban it. Yeah, and then the format is still basically the same format. So yeah.
But if you want me to just, speak my heart like about the card in particular, the pros and cons, I think the pros is it would boost black. I think black is not in the best spot now. I think I'm really happy with all the other colors. Really, it's also fun to see green being so strong. I mean, it kind of breaks expectations. I think blue is not strong it's strong, of course, but it's not like the strongest, most dominant that you see in many of these older formats. So I think it's kind of nice to
because I just want to say, maybe for younger viewers, I'm not sure how many there are, green was always like mocked color. It was always the worst color.
And in Premodern is like survival, oath. It's really, it's powerful.
It's a lot of tools.
And I think it's kind of cool, to be honest. But all the other colors they have, they're good by themselves, and they are good in combination with other colors. Black is more of a supportive color now, and it would be nice to have maybe some more build around cards. I'm thinking about that. But when it comes to the drawbacks of a card like Entomb, I would say that relates a little bit to what you say about the rock paper scissors dynamics. I'm a little bit afraid of the non-game aspects that you would have, like just a very quick Entomb into whatever is best in that matchup.
Especially if you think that you can have Dark Ritual, so you can actually pull it off turn 1.
Yeah, and you have Lotus Petal. But even without Dark Ritual, I mean, imagine you're on the play and then you have just like turn 2, you reanimate what you need in that matchup. It could be like an Acroma.
Maybe it's a stupid question. Animate that is legal, right?
Yeah.
So you can have,
It's
like
and then you have reanimate. So you could have as many of reanimate
as many as you want. Yes.
And with a new mulligan, they're not exactly new mulligan rules, but with the current mulligan rule, it's a bit like mulligan into lackey, and it is hard. I mean, imagine you're on the other side playing goblins, elves, sly. Just to take an example, because these are like creature-based decks. There are very good answers against those. You can get the Nishoba, you can get the Chroma, or you can get the Ascendant Evincar. So it's this non-game aspect that you have to weigh against.
But if somebody reanimates Ascendant Evincar against me, I'll probably like it.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool. So I mean,
if it happens the first time, you're gonna like it. If it happens like you're on elves and it happens fifth time,
sorry, it's 6 mana 3/3. 6 mana 3/3. Like that can be. You can't be sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this. What is it called? This demon that draws you 7 cards.
Yeah, Griselbrand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Griselbrand for sure. So I mean, it's a different power level. You have tools to combat it. To be fair, you have swords, which is a staple. Swords is the main thing. You have cards like Chain of Vapor. Black would paradoxically might actually be pushed indirectly because the black removal is pretty good. I mean, cards like Diabolic Edict are really good against anything that you will reanimate, right? So it could push like black indirectly. So yeah, it's something to consider.
Actually, I don't think I ever really played Entomb deck. I probably don't like it. I don't like that strategy, but I was asking.
For a friend.
But then, I mean, if we put, I can mention something other positive. I mean, it's also a brewing card. So for all the brewers out there who wants to get their like Nether Spirit or something like that,
exactly.
I mean, contamination deck.
Love it so much. Yeah. So Entomb would be amazing for them.
It's a question whether it causes more damage than it gives benefit to the format, and I think it's pretty close in this one. But I like the idea that. The bannings and unbannings, that one of the big factors is if it's going to create interesting interaction and plays or not. I think that's actually like what I like about the format, that it's steered towards games that are fun. Yeah. So all right.
Yeah. There's obviously, I'm not sure if we have time to talk more about
like 5 more minutes.
Maybe like 5 more minutes. And Martin, if we, I'm sorry, Adam.
Go on.
Because Martin. You were saying that there are some things that make you happy, some things that make you less happy. You know, we were talking about it before the start of the main program. Today. So can you continue with that, because you were saying that what you like, that there is like diversity in the format, that there are a lot of decks you can play, that it's growing, that there are a lot of tournaments. So can you continue? Can you finish it, because we were interrupted then?
This is like, what do you say? Beating my own drum here, or hitting my own drum here. But yeah, I'm very happy with where Premodern is at right now. Like in many respects. I mean, obviously, like having a tournament like this today with over 200 players. I mean, it's amazing. It's starting to get like at the Grand Prix level, but it's still very. Feels like very, what can I say, like friendly, very informal. Yeah, it's not at all. It doesn't feel like this stressful. I mean, So it's only good vibes so far. We'll see toward in the last round.
Might get a bit more competitive towards the end of the tournament.
things.
But I agree as well. Like it's the format just somehow brings like a more casual approach and more friendly approach. I would say, like, when I compare it to like Grand Prix or something.
I think it's you have like a little bit older people. Most of them are really like relaxed. You know, they didn't take it like that seriously. Probably, they just want to have fun. So I think that's what makes the crowd so good. And I have to say, I met thanks to Premodern, I met a lot of friends that I thought I will never see playing Magic, for example. You know, one of them is here. He was actually 0-3.
Is he having fun?
I hope he's having fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I just want to say, I thought he will never come back to Magic next round. So we have the next round.
Yeah, okay. We should save some conversation for later.
Yes, save some conversation later.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a super quick break, and we're gonna swap to. We're gonna see who's in the booth, and we're gonna.
Okay. It's starting now.
All right. So.
Yes. So we will do that. So. Martin, do you want to stay?
Sure, if you want to.
One way or the other.
Okay. Yes. So let's just stay here. Let's move a little bit, and we'll do this next round. Maybe just a bit further. Thank you. Wonderful. So we'll see what they prepared for us. So we have Philipp Altmann. I have to say I actually ordered Philip because I saw that he's playing something amazing. You see he's playing Ill-Gotten Gains, Storm.
Nice.
I've been meeting Philip on and off on a Legacy circuit, so he's been playing Legacy, now he plays this. It looks beautiful. What I like about these decks, that you are not always sure how do they kill. It always takes some time before you discover it.
Please do tell.
Yes. So he needs to go for Cunning Wish. There is no win condition in the main deck, and he goes Cunning Wish, and in the sideboard he has Brain Freeze, and then he has the green card that gives you 4/4 Beast, which has Storm. So there are two Storm cards in the sideboard. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, how you beat this deck? Counterspell. I mean, if you counter Cunning Wish, they struggle, right?
Indeed. I mean, and I guess you could also counter like Ill-Gotten Gains at some point. Graveyard Hate, like a Tormos Crypt, could be really bad.
There was one Orim's Chant. I think that's the point. You play Orim's Chant and then you just do whatever you want. You know, you don't care anymore. And they were.
He was on stream previously.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
With red-green, fairly stock Goblin list.
Yes. So I think it's only about like pressure, because like Philip, I think he has like one Chain of Vapor, which can slow down like Goblin Lucky. But I think it will be just a race.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how fast can Philip win. Probably with ideal hand turn 1. Is that possible?
Probably like in theory,
with like
but
multiple rituals, Lion's Eye Diamond, and
probably, but that's probably
not very
close
likely.
to 0%. But I would like, I mean, game 1 is, I would guess, better for the Storm player here, because then we saw both the Red Blast and 3 crypts from the sideboard, and that can mess quite a lot with the Storm plan, I imagine. Especially if you combine it with like a Wasteland or so.
Yes, and I see that Philip is already mulliganing. Yes, I think it's lovely, because like Philip apparently won last round, so we are now in round.
Is it 7?
7?
Yeah. Do we know?
Is it already round 7? 6.
Are we in round 6?
Round 6?
I think we're round 7.
I think it's round 7, because when I was commenting it was round 5, then there was round 6, now it's round 7.
And these is this like one of the top tables?
6. Yes, it's round 7.
Are they 6-0 even?
Yeah, so no, that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
That
So
Philip, Philip must be is around 6-1, 6-0 or 5-1. Now it's round 7.
Okay.
So we will have, after this round, we'll have one more round, and then we'll go to top 8. And I mean, honestly, taking a deck like this to a huge event like this one, and let's face it, like Storm, we have not seen it. We have not played against like Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Ill-Gotten Gains. I don't think I've ever played against it in Premodern. So huge respect to Philip that he brings deck like that, and I think it's a massive challenge. And format when there are a lot of like sphere of resistance, a lot of like destroy lands, grave hate. It shows you that he's a skilled pilot who knows how to navigate.
Yeah, I mean, this is a deck you need to love. You need to goldfish your hours with the deck. I mean, to be really to know it in and out.
Yes, because that's a friend of mine who plays occasionally Legacy Storm. He's so strict on him. Like even when he wins, he's angry because he did not make the perfect play.
Yeah.
You know, and it's quite incredible to see it, and it's a whole cabal. You know, that's really a community.
Yeah.
You know, of Storm players that just and they're
Personality disorder.
I'm not sure about it. Hello, Martin. But yeah, I just want to say it's quite impressive
Personality type.
to see how they talk, how they discuss like single card in graveyard that can completely change like one of their matchups. So, but it's also quite interesting to see that he does not have any sort of discard main deck. There was not even single duress.
It's very pure. It was very pure combo. Yeah.
Yes.
And we saw Philip on the play. And Federico on the draw, but he has
no lucky,
and or no Morphinactus or no what do you call it, prospectors.
And I think there is one thing when he plays against Storm player and he plays this fast, like Philip.
Yeah,
that's quite intimidating. It feels like, because I've beaten so many times Storm players or Doomsday players when they don't know what they're doing.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you know, that's the Zen thing. Like, you dead,
yeah,
but you let them screw it up. And I'm afraid with Philip, it feels like he knows what he's doing.
It seems so. He went Merchant Scroll into Intuition, and Federico, he leads with a Goblin Piledriver.
Piledriver.
For a shot and port.
Yes, probably next turn he will have something like War Chief. He will swing for 5, but still gives Philip quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
And now he can play that Intuition that otherwise he would not be able to play if he tapped with Rashad and port. Question is, where is Federico going with it?
If he has the third land, but we might expect that at least. Yeah, we were discussing before, like, are there any playable cards in Homelands? And I pointed out Merchant Scroll, and here we see it. But Merchant Scroll doesn't see much.
Because I'm trying. I'm basically every hour I'm telling Martin that maybe Fallen Empires wouldn't be all that bad. And I was just basically one of my arguments was like, Homelands, what do Homelands bring to the format? Nothing. And then we found there like 3 cards.
Pretty much. I mean, I mean.
Are you trying to say there are more?
No, I mean maybe fewer in practice.
Okay.
Well, I mean there are some that are.
So what was there? Merchant Scroll and
Primal Order is at least in theory playable, but I haven't really seen it.
No, but I saw it once in Enchantress like 12 years ago, and so I had to buy it. But I don't think that's a card that. But definitely Homelands is a.
I mean, Serrated Arrows is not like it's a card.
That's true. Yes, Grey Ogre is a card.
Grey Ogre, but that's not in Homelands.
That's true. Or Baron Sengir. That's a card. I think that's in.
Isan Shade, potential reanimation target versus Sorcerer.
I think there are quite a few 7-mana creatures in Homelands or something like that.
So going back to the game, we saw Philip playing an Ancient Tomb.
Not so much was going on. I think Philip is maybe considering what he played now.
Yeah.
That Intuition. No, he. Oh.
What happened here?
Oh, he's going for it. Oh, that's so intimidating. That's like he will put like how much of which mana has. Yeah. When he puts that, he like has it.
It's a bad sign.
So he's going for it, and that's quite scary. So he's going Intuition, potentially maybe for Dark Ritual. Well, I'm not sure about that, but maybe the Ill-Gotten Gains or something like that. We will see what he's missing for his combo. Intuition. But when he starts counting, I'm always on the other side of the table, and I feel like, oh no, give me one more turn, just one more turn. So we'll see if Philip is actually really going to do it.
The storm counter is a little bit out of the camera view.
Yes, but even if it is, I don't think we can see it with this die. So we can count it for ourselves.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you, it's one.
Now it's easy. It will get harder.
Yes, I'll leave that to you. How is Ill-Gotten Gains?
Yeah. So does he have a bunch of rituals now, or what do you think?
Yeah, he will probably go a bunch of rituals. Maybe he'll play Lineside Diamond. That's really good with Golden Gains, and then he'll just go for it.
So yeah, Ill-Gotten Gains. It's a very peculiar card.
I think I like it a lot, and I even saw some play recently in Legacy with Besiege the Mirror and Leyline of the Void. When you cast it, your opponent discards, but everything is exiled.
Okay.
So
here comes ritual number 1. But what happened there? Did they have black mana from another source?
Maybe there is some. I will.
Maybe he tapped it now. I think he just tapped it after he announced the spell. Okay. Yeah. Now we see the board a little bit better, even though it's a bit unclear. The storm count.
No, storm count is 3, and he has 4 black mana.
Exactly, because he played a Cabal Ritual, but without Threshold, as far as I can see.
Yes, but I think with this deck, I think it's very often without Threshold. I watched Philip last round.
And here comes the Ill-Gotten Gains, and we assume the Lineside Diamond
keep priority and just blow it and get 3 black.
Yeah.
And discard. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love it.
So the Ill-Gotten Gains, it affects both players, right?
Yes.
So the Goblin player
Federico
needs to...
will discard his hand and return 3 cards of his choice back.
Yeah.
But he has like 4 or 5 cards,
That's
so he will
5 cards,
discard 5 and return 3. But he will return like... I can see Philip is explaining how he's going to kill him. But what is he going to do? He will just get back like... I guess rituals and Ill-Gotten Gains.
Yeah.
And he'll go through the motion multiple times. Ill-Gotten Gains is exiled on the resolution.
Or maybe ritual led and Ill-Gotten Gains, so he can filter to some blue mana.
Yeah, he will get blue mana through a Lineside Diamond, and then he will get Intuition and get Cunning Wish, go for Cunning Wish, and like probably do the Storm thing.
Yeah.
I guess he knows what he's doing. I still don't see it. If he will have enough Storm, that's kind of my point. Because Federico has, let's say, 50... What is it? Turn to 52 cards in his deck? I think it's something like that. So he needs Storm like... What is it? 15, 16, 17? 18?
Something like that.
Yes. So now he's just going through the motion. It's very, very, very clear. Now he will get blue mana as he casts the Ill-Gotten Gains. So he will probably get 3 blue.
Yeah, exactly. He can start filtering a little bit now. And now we can do the same thing.
Well, this is super cool that you go Intuition into triple Ill-Gotten Gains. So you have it in grave, and you can you know it will increase your mana. And
so it's again Ill-Gotten Gains, but now he needs something else, right? I mean, he needs finish.
Well, he will get Ill-Gotten Gains again.
Merchant Scroll can fetch. Yeah, Ill-Gotten Gains again, but next time
he will
go for Merchant Scroll into Cunning Wish. Is that enough?
Yes, or he can get Intuition for Cunning Wish. But I think he still needs quite a lot of Storm.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't see it. He can, but honestly, if he gets the Beasts, if he can get the green mana,
that's true.
If he gets like 16 Beasts,
that would be more enough. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Just the question is whether he will have enough mana, but I think he will.
Yeah, he will.
So cool, isn't it? Like to see this deck round 7 we said. That's amazing.
I mean, I'm assuming that he did the math here and get enough mana. I didn't do the math.
But honestly, some Storm players, they just go for it and hope.
Yeah.
I remember it was GP Ghent, that player in a deciding match. He just went for it. and he didn't have it, and then he just cast the Gitaxian probe,
Okay.
and drew into business and won.
Okay.
But he didn't have it, so sometimes you need.
So
and he won
Yeah.
GP.
So he has 5 mana floating. With the ritual, he would have 7, and with the diamond, he would have 10, right? -2 for the merchant scroll, that's 8.
And that costs 6 mana.
Cunning Wish.
Oh, the Cunning Wish.
3. Then he will have 5. But the beast, how much does it cost?
I think it's cost 6 mana.
So then is he 1 short?
Well, I hope he knows what he's doing. That's all I can say. But I think he's getting close even for a brain freeze. Right?
So what's the... It's 14. Yeah, then it's getting very close for the brain freeze.
So I don't know exactly how many cards are there. I'm not sure if you like mulliganed or something. But let's say he has 52 cards. He needs something like 17, 18 Storm for brain freeze.
He's at 50 now. So intuitioning for wish.
Cunning Wish and
Yeah,
brain freeze. That's
it would be
16.
perfect, I think.
Oh,
17, right?
No, he's intuition for Cunning Wish, so he will get the Cunning Wish.
Yeah. Into brain freeze, right?
Yes. And he's going to 16, and then there will be 17. But as I said, I'm not sure how many cards he has. Maybe 17. 17 is like 51, if I say it correctly.
Yeah, but he's not dead on the table. He's at
Yeah, that's
17
true.
lives.
Yeah, that's true. Even if
versus
he,
a 1-2.
yeah,
and-
you're
and,
right. You're very right. Even if
This
he
is
has
like a 3-turn clock. A 4-turn clock even.
Yes.
Depending on what else they can draw.
Because I think some person suggested the strategy that you just mulligan to 0. So when he tries to storm, you have more cards. Okay, not the best plan. But
Yeah, but then you have the beast plan and all the time in the world for that. So.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the conversation previously, whether at the lunch, well, like, does it really matter if we have tendrils instead of brainstorm? And I think this kind of illustrates that it does matter, because I mean it's not easy to pull the brainstorm for the full. I mean, tendrils here will be considerably
Brain freeze.
brain freeze.
Yes, you were saying brainstorm.
Brain freeze.
I was
Of course,
confused.
yeah.
I was confused.
Tendrils would be a lot less work here, obviously.
Yes. But Andrews, that's for children.
Still, this is, I have to say, this is very elegant. Leaving him with 1 card, I mean, it's more humiliating.
But I mean, I loved when Philip was just like looking at his hand for like a minute, and then he just put up, his tokens for mana, and like I think Federico knew that's it.
Yeah.
So that's why you play Gas Blessing, by the way.
In Goblins. I mean,
In Goblins, yeah.
Especially green, so...
Yes, you have green, you can always cycle it.
Okay, game 1 to Storm, and as we said, that's probably the most comfortable, I mean, for Storm, and the most difficult for...
But I just want to say again, no matter how the match will end up, I'm super impressed with Philip's play.
Yeah,
He just so much knows what's going on. Like, so, I hate when I'm dying to like Storm opponent who has no idea what he's doing. That's very frustrating. But with Philip, you're kind of happy to die.
Yeah, I mean,
because
we can see that
he's a professional.
Yeah,
it won't hurt too much.
We can see that he did his goldfish practice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's one of those decks that you actually have to practice at home.
Yeah.
So there are 3 chills. That's for sure.
That seems relevant. And then we have this sorcery effect that gives -2/-2 to creatures.
Yes.
But you can also
It's called crippling.
That, so.
Can we see crippling fatigue?
Right?
It costs 4 mana, right?
I think it's 3 flashback 2.
Okay, let's see.
But the thing is,
it's 3.
Yeah,
you're right.
But do you leave it in the board so that you can Cunning Wish?
No, it's sorcery. You can't. do it.
Okay. No, then it should be in the main deck.
You like intuition.
Main deck. I mean, in the you should board it in.
You can board it in, and you can intuition, and then it can kill Lucky, but it's too late, right? It's too slow. But you can dark ritual it, maybe like turn 1.
Yeah, you have.
Is there anything better?
You have petals and you have dark rituals, so I mean,
because
this is a sweeper.
Because I remember what used to be a card, even in Legacy. It was. Now I can't remember the name of it, but it's a black instant, and it destroys creature according to its power based on cards in your graveyard. So turn 1 when you fetch.
Ghastly Demise.
Ghastly Demise. Ghastly Demise. So there used to be even like it was even like a legacy card, but I wonder whether that's like a card you want like as a 1/0, 2/0 to protect you from Lucky.
I think it's a bit slow because if Lucky comes down turn 1, I mean, if
You need fetch land because you need to have at least because you compare your cards in graveyard with the creature's toughness.
Yeah,
so if you have nothing in graveyard, you can't kill.
Yeah, but I was thinking about the Cunning Wish scenario. I mean, if you want it in the deck, but I think it makes much more sense to have a sweeper because then you don't have to kill a Lucky. You can do it like the turn after.
And is there what's the black sweeper?
The Crippling Fatigue here.
Okay, but Crippling Fatigue is only one creature. It's all creatures.
All creatures. Or no, is it one? No, it's one.
It's just one creature.
Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm mixing it up with this effect. There is a black card doing -2/-2 to everyone, but it doesn't have flashback.
Infest.
Yeah, infest. So my bad. I'm mixing things up here. I mean, chills. I think the main thing with chill here is that it makes red blast worse because the red blast is something he needs to worry about.
Yes. Because what was good with this situation, Philip, game 1, he's tapped out. There's like no interaction whatsoever, right? That's like I would say that's the main thing. But after a board, there will be Tormund Script. Yeah. That's definitely coming in.
3 Tormund Scripts. That's quite a bit.
3 red elemental blasts.
It's actually a headache. I think there was a Chain of Vapor in the Stormplayer sideboard that should come in against. You can use it against Tormund Script or you can use it against Lackey. So that's kind of a catch-all.
Yeah.
I expect him to. You can also leave it in the board so that you can wish for it. And
is it realistic for Philip to go off without ill-gotten gains? That's not possible.
I don't think so. Okay. I think it's so tight with the storm count.
Yes. We saw that he cast 3 ill-gotten gains in that game.
Yeah, you need.
And it's still. I'm not saying it was close, but I don't think he had like that much spare mana after that. After doing all that.
I think he had 0 spare mana after. I think. Or maybe 1 man or something, but perhaps I think 0 even. So it's really small margins. So like a good start from Federico with like Lackey plus a Crypt is really a headache, and in that case, Chill doesn't do a whole lot, right? If Lackey hits, the only thing like Chill does is makes Blast a little worse, but still if he has Lackey, he can probably afford to keep up 3 mana for the blast anyway. You don't need. So I'm not sure how good Chill is. It's in this matchup. It's almost like I'd imagine like a blue blast would even be better because it's more flexible. You can counter a red blast or you can just destroy a Lackey.
Yes, that's very interesting.
Especially on the draw. I mean, you have situations like on the play where you have like Lotus Petal into Chill, right? And then it's amazing.
Yes.
But on the draw,
I think that's maybe on his that's on his mind. Of course, the Lucky is broken, but I think he's probably thinking also about Burn, because against Burn,
I guess Burn is a different story.
Chill is always great against Burn.
Yeah, but not always. No, not always. I mean, imagine if you're in the play and Sly player leads with like Jackal Pup, then you play land, and then Sly player plays like another creature, and then you play Chill. I mean. Now you're on a clock, and I mean you need to answer those 2 creatures on the board, and like time is just in favor of the red player. If he has like 3 lands or even 4, he can eventually cast everything except for maybe Ball Lightning.
Yes, but I would say the main thing is that if you cast it, even when he has those 2 creatures on the board, it slows him down. It certainly slows him down. He can't just like Fire Blast you turn 4 to kill you. So my point is that it slows his opponent down and maybe gives you 1 or 2 extra draw steps, even when you're under attack. And you know that when your opponent is like tapped or he doesn't have 2 open mana, he can't cast any spells, and then you can just like easier go off. Certainly you want it against Burn, and it does some work. It's not going to save you. It's not like turn 1 Chill with Petal, turn 2 Chill against Burn, then you probably won the game, right?
But the thing is, like, the counterfactual there is having the blue blast instead.
Yeah.
So the question is, how much better is that? Just blasting the puck outright?
We can ask Philip about it, because I don't know much about it, but I totally take your argument, and I think Blue Blast is very flexible, and it can counter Pyroblast. which can be really.
But with that said, Lotus Petal changes the math a little bit,
Yes.
and because
obviously if you play Lotus Petal, chill sounds much more appealing.
yeah, and now it's on the draw. But I mean, even if he loses now,
Mock Fanatic or Lucky?
I think like
Mock Fanatic. I say Mock Fanatic.
okay.
But
He didn't-
honestly,
he
but
didn't-
I
he
don't.
didn't mulligan, but yeah.
But I don't think we saw Federico like playing Lucky turn 1.
But here it is.
Now
I mean, it happens. It has to happen some games, right?
But you are right that probably in this matchup you also tend to feel you want to mulligan more, right?
Yeah.
In this matchup, just some spells and lands isn't maybe not good enough. So you want to have Lucky, you want to have Tormund's Grave.
Yeah. But now, would you rather have Chill or Blue Blast?
I don't want to answer this question.
No, but we see it's okay. Here comes the Storm and the
Are you
mana
joking?
counters.
Are you kidding me? You said it's a 0% chance. If somebody does not believe,
Close to zero.
no, you said it's 0% chance. So I want to see it now. I want to see
That
the
would be-
0% chance.
that would be
impressive.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine now the psychological factor in laying it out.
No. I mean, I feel for Federico because I'm under this like psychological factor because this is quite.
Wow.
It's so
Ancient Tomb and
it's
Lotus
so
Pit.
intimidating.
Wow, it
doing-
seems he's for real. He's starting the Storm count.
Yes, he is.
Wow. Is this a dream hand?
I want to see it. You know, I want to see the 0% hand.
Wow. So Lotus Petal, Ancient Tomb, Dark Ritual. So he has access to
That's amazing.
five mana.
He already has like for ill-gotten gains, so he has light side and
Oh.
ill-gotten gains, and he needs also some kind of one more. He needs some business. He needs something to
Yes,
search.
some search effect. Another light side hand.
Yes. So you think one Black Lotus is not enough? Let's have 2 Black Lotus. He has to tap. Yes, he has to tap the Ancient Tomb.
He's the guy that taps after announcing his
Yeah, that's old school. You should like that. That's incredible. Love it. Oh, he has it. He has it.
Both the
He has both
Merchant
Merchant
Scroll
Scroll
and
and
the
his Cunning Wish.
This is crazy. Is this a turn 1?
It's a turn 1 kill in Premodern.
Let's see if he pulls it off though.
Yes.
Let's see. But I'm like, so if you for
I mean,
any
if
Star
he's-
players watching, you're probably figured it out already. That I mean, if this works,
But I think the thing here is that if you have 2 Lions Eye Diamond, that's
Yeah.
like so much mana.
Yeah.
That's like it's that's
at this point we do like trust Philip that he knows what he's doing, because if he goes for it,
Are you kidding me? He didn't play Tormund's Crypt turn 1. That's
you're kidding.
What are the odds that he has it turn 1 and your opponent has the
That's
answer, but he
crazy.
doesn't play
That's crazy. Why?
it? Why would you not play it?
It's honestly weird, because there's also the chance that he could have like discard in his deck. I mean, he doesn't, but he does. But Federico doesn't know. Oh man, he must hate that decision now.
Insane. It's like the best story of Magic of all time when 2 Dredge players play against each other, and one casts Cabal Therapy turn 1 and named Leyline of the Void,
Okay.
and he had 2.
And he had to.
Like, what are the odds that 2 Dredge players play against each other? One has 2 ley lines in opening hand and forgets to put them into
Okay,
play.
he forgets to
And
play.
the other one plays Cabal Therapy.
Okay, now I get
and what
it,
can
yeah.
I think of?
Yeah,
Ley
now I
line
get it.
of
Yeah,
the
it's the
Void.
one you can play from the start, obviously.
yes,
yeah, okay,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's.
Yes. I mean, this is quite incredible.
Yeah.
I think Federico, he's keeping it cool, but he's like, he's,
Yeah, he
he's
must
cursing.
want
He's,
to hit himself
yes.
in the head real hard.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we got this from Philip. Like, think of a beauty.
And he also has a siege gang in hand, so that would be really the nuts. And
Yes.
he discarded a Goblin King. Yeah, it's not
but,
a turn 3.
but honestly, you called it Lucky and Crypt turn 1. And then to have put anything reasonable into play from Lucky, you win.
Yeah.
You win. Like
Yeah.
it would be super hard for. I mean, Philip could go like Merchant Scroll for the Chain of Vapor and whatnot, but
That
maybe he would be dead by
complicate
then.
things, yeah.
But I think what's maybe a little bit complicated for Philip is that maybe like a smaller storm is not enough, right?
But I think in this case he might go for the beast then, because he has a ton of mana now with a double lead. If that checks out, I haven't really... I'm not doing the math actively here, but yeah, he goes for...
He's going for green mana.
So that seems to be, yeah.
That seems to be that.
He's onto that.
That's fantastic. What there is not to love about this? Yes, he's going for the beasts. Amazing.
Yeah, that's even better actually, flavor-wise. It's not even a win, it's just like...
Yeah, it's like, yeah, better than Armadillo Cloak. I think we have beasts, right? Among our Prague tokens. There they are.
How many does he get?
I think like 10.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Nine.
I didn't see Powder Keg.
And he
for
even
Goblins.
kept Black Lotus, just for the... Maybe he'll need it later.
So we have 9.
9
4
4/4s.
vanilla beasts.
It's just 36 damage casually.
Yeah.
Turn 1.
Okay, Federico, it's okay to scoop now. Yeah. Okay, that was amazing.
That was incredible.
amazing.
I'm so happy I could be part of this moment because this is not going to happen again. And obviously Federico's now talking.
Yeah.
You know, if I could play the Dortmund script,
I mean...
I don't know why he didn't do that. Please, children at home, you know,
Free
Dortmund
spells.
script, play it.
Yeah.
Play it. There's nothing wrong about that. Hunting pack. I don't think I've ever seen the card being cast. That's...
But then again, this morning you hadn't seen a Flesh Reaver with an Armadillo Cloak either, right?
Okay, so we finished quite soon. So would you like, Martin, maybe that we finish that little interview that we had?
Sure.
Would you like to? Yes. Oh, maybe we'll do interview with Philip.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
I think
even better.
yes.
That's even better.
Let's do that if you don't mind. I'll just put the table.
So just the two of you, or right?
No, please stay with us because you can offer him your licorice.
Yeah, I will. Philip Altmann, where is he from? Is he...
I think he's German.
Yeah.
I probably have met him for the first time. It would be like 15 years ago, maybe more. He's a long time legacy player. Yeah, so and obviously maybe lately he played more Premodern. I don't know. I haven't talked to him for quite some time, but you know.
I do recognize the name.
Yes, and you recognize him. He's really like this blonde head, you know, in the room. He's very like as a. Well, let's see
if he has some love for Swedish candy.
He's coming. Wonderful. No, I think it's great. But definitely, if there's something we want to.
Another chance.
Can I have just a bit?
Yeah, you can.
I would just like to have. I just try one bit. Okay? Can I bite into it or can I tear it?
Sure. Yeah.
I just bite.
Do what you need to do. Instantly put it away.
It's all right. No, I think it's all right because I had finished one and that was not so good.
Okay.
I think it's better. So the licorice. I apologize to all the sweets watching. It's not too bad.
I think the Finns, they love their licorice even more. Trying to introduce Swedish concept of Saturday candy, lördagsgodis here in Prague. Czech Republic. It's not going that great so far.
Well, I know some kids. My sister has 2. I don't think they would accept sweets on Saturday only. I don't think they would accept that. That just would not be possible. I think we bribe them every day with some ice creams and sweets.
No, but ice cream is not candy.
Oh, that's not candy.
That doesn't count. And like cookies, it's not all sweets, but it's really like candy.
By the way, just like I like these things. Do you know why it's candy? Why the word candy?
No.
It's from Candia. That's an old name for Crete, for the island Crete in Mediterranean, where they put fruit into like honey, maybe sugar, you know. So that's the candy fruit. In Czech we say kandované
Okay,
fruit,
yeah.
and that's where it's from. So just like interesting, in I don't know. I like these things. If you want to ask me, know these things.
Tomáš is well versed in the history of things.
Yes, because I was already trying to shame Martin for being Swedish. Because in Prague we have a lot of stories about the Swedes. They only came for a few years, but we still remember it.
Yeah, I did a very quick read up while I was taking a stroll through town, and just realized that Swedes sacked half of it and pillaged
Yes.
quite a few.
There's quite a lot. I would like to show Martin later. There is an amazing garden where all the statues were designed specifically for the garden, and when the Swedes came, they took all those statues to Sweden. And they were made by a really famous sculptor. His name was Adrian de Vries. He was like the best sculptor of his time. And now if you go to Drottningholm, there is a Museum de Vries, and all the statues are from Prague. Okay. And only in 1920s you allowed us to make copies. But that's fine. We don't mind that. That's all right.
Finders keepers.
Good to see you. Yeah. Please sit.
Hi, Philip.
Hi.
Please sit on the chair. Thank you. So here we are with Philip. I was just saying that we know each other with Philip for like quite many years because we always played Legacy for many years. You still play Legacy sometimes?
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
I
do. You do. I just want to say thank you. This is just beauty. Just amazing. Like, so you're 6-0?
No, 6-1. 6-1.
6-1. Oh, there was a 7th round.
Yeah.
So you're 6-1. That's just, which is incredible. And I think it was great because I was just saying that when I play Legacy and I play against Storm player and he doesn't know what he's doing, I hate it so much that I'm going to die. This person doesn't know. But when you with you, that was so clear that you know you did your goldfish. You just know, you look at it and you see it.
I know. I try my very best to make it completely clear for my opponent that he knows what I'm doing, because I think it is very important that, of course, it's annoying to see how you lose, but it's also important to show the opponent in which way he's losing, and if I'm counting my storm and my mana correctly. So I was also told for example, for legacy players, don't scoop too early if you play against Storm, because sometimes they don't have it, and just pretend they have it. And this is not the way I want to like to play Magic. I want to make it clear that look here, I can really show you, and also I tell my opponent, if something is unclear, we can rewind. I can show you as much as you want, or how often you want, how I'm doing this.
Yes. Because it's the same thing. I was just saying that many times I won in Legacy against Storm players that they just messed up. They got the wrong mana with like Lineside Diamond, or they made a bad pile with Doomsday or something like that. But with you, it felt so clinical. It felt like even just the turn 1 in the game 2 when you just put it turn 1,
they were like,
the token. I was like, is he just playing it? It's so intimidating.
I kept a very, so my friends are calling me Greedy Philip, because I really tend to keep greedy hands. And I looked at my hand and I said, if I get a pedal from the top, this will be a clearly turn 1. And I thought maybe if I get colored mana, it will be a turn 2. But then I flipped and it was the pedal. I felt so embarrassed because I was looking at the opponent's face. I thought, what can goblins do against, I don't know, 9 beasts or something?
Maybe Tormund's?
Because it's... Sure. If he said, I made a mistake, I didn't play the crypt, and I said, this was clearly a mistake, of course, in this case. But with Cunning Wish in my hand and 2 LEDs, I'm capable of winning through a Tormund's crypt without using the graveyard.
So you were able to win through the Tormund script this game?
No, this game he just didn't play it, so I didn't have to. But if I had to, of course, I need to play it slower, and then it depends on, do I get my mana, because then I kept a really greedy hand, of course. Yes. But if the best play he made, this is the turn 1 leg here, so to make a lot of pressure, so he don't have to use his mana for casting any goblins.
Because when we were discussing what's like the best play, Martin said turn 1 lucky and Tormund script.
Yes.
And like he almost had it. And then after I would almost concede, like it's like the shame concession. I don't want you to show you what I had in hand. Because that was just because he had it. Not to mention he had the big guy. what's a
Siege
Gang.
Gang,
Siege Gang Commander. So it was like best possible, like a hand he could have.
Yes.
And you still managed to win game one, because Martin said that for you to win game one, round one, is 0% chance.
No,
so I'm happy you showed us. People will see it. People will rewind it. And
Okay.
So that was great. We were just wondering, why did you choose this deck? Clearly, you must love it.
Yeah. So I hope it's okay if I make a short advertisement, because Ivan van Lennep, who's also playing, and me, we're also doing a new podcast. So the two cover therapists, and I'm explaining a lot why I love this deck. So when I started Premodern also for the same reason as most players, like for nostalgia and so on.
Yes.
And one of my first decks I ever played in Magic was Madness. So I built Madness. Yes. And then I realized when I was playing Legacy again, one of my favorite cards of all is Lion's Eye Diamond. So then I looked up what kind of decks are possible in Premodern with Lion's Eye Diamond. And I fell over Balancing Things and also Turtle Splash. And I didn't like the mana base of Turtle Splash. Was kind of okay. Balancing Act has also some kind of weird mana base, but it looked more appealing. But then in the end, I felt doing a kind of combo and then not winning the same turn doesn't feel good. And then Paul, who's also playing here, made top 16 in Eternal Weekend, I think in 2023. And I saw the list and I really fell in love, and I put a lot of effort in it to find out which is the correct amount of cantrips, which are the best ones. Is it Sleight of Hand or is it Opt? And because of black matchups, I prefer Opt, because I had so many times I took a good card with Sleight of Hand the first turn, and then they rest exactly this card I took, and then it took so much effort to get it back. And we had Frantic Search in the deck because I love Frantic Search, and a lot of people say, you have to play a card that's not legal in Legacy to have a very strong deck in Premodern. Okay, and why the main reason, the real besides loving the deck is it's very complicated to play, and it takes a lot of effort to think of everything.
Yes,
this is what I like about playing Magic. So
absolutely, absolutely, and I just want to say, it was a joy to see somebody who knows what he's doing with this kind of a difficult deck, and also like pulling off like turn one win. And so that was amazing. I was wondering, like, if there are still some questions in the deck, or you're very happy with it. We were, for example, wondering about the chill, because we felt maybe Hydroblast is maybe better because you can kill the lucky and it takes off so much pressure. We were thinking chill is good when you can play turn one of the battle that you always have on the top of your deck. As we know that. So beware. But maybe Hydroblast, even like when he wants to Pyroblast, like, so your intuition, you can Hydroblast back. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts? You definitely thought about it.
In the first in my first list, I tried Hydroblast, but the problem is with Ill-Gotten Gains. If he has 2 red mana open, I give him back another blast, and in the end I have to cast a blue spell again. So I also have to take back my Hydroblast if I have one. So if he blasted once and I don't have a Hydroblast and I want to do the Ill-Gotten Gains loop, then I can't do anything against Hydroblast. So
that would go. Ill-Gotten Gains, he gets back the red blast.
So, and this is why also the foil is an incredibly hard card to play against. So there were some considerations, and for example, the other guy who's also playing Ill-Gotten Gains is trying a different approach. He is using for these kinds of decks Oath of Druids in the sideboard, but it takes.
He's using what?
What?
Well, he's using what? Sorry, I misheard.
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but this takes 7 slots in the sideboard or 6 slots in the sideboard. This is 7. Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, and this is quite a lot. And
especially if you play Cunning Wish.
Yeah. Yes. And so the main reason I came back to chill was, okay, if I have 2 Oath of Druids in the hand, one is good, the other one is crap. I just have a crap card in the hand. But if I have 2 chill, for example, against Sly, I play the first one, maybe I play the second one, and they do nothing till the game until I am finished, because then I have time to set up my cards, and then I will go in the combo. So I think in this specifically, especially in the matchup with Sly, Chill is better than Hydroblast, I think, because I have to slow them down, otherwise they will kill me even though I have a blast for a
Makes a lot of sense.
But against Goblins, probably that Hydroblast is better.
Could be because of the Lecky, I see the point, but if you give back the blast with a Gotten Gains, it can be really tough to beat that. And with a Chill, he needs to have 3 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main thing with Chill is really protecting from the blasts.
Yes,
I guess.
yes,
And
yes,
you'll need to hope to raise whatever they have on board anyway.
Yeah, so the deck is capable of winning turn 1 till turn 3, and on slower turns on 4, of course, and if it takes longer, so if he doesn't do any pressure, of course, and then I just take mana, and then everything will be fine.
And isn't, because you play defense grid as well?
Yes.
Isn't just defense grid protecting you from the blast?
Yes, I was thinking about this too, but I think Chill does more, yeah, in the red matchups. So, but yes, you're right. I was also thinking maybe I can cut Chill.
Because in theory, you have like 6 cards. That's like 2 mana permanent that protects you from his counters.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I'm not boarding in grids because I have Chill in this specific matchup, but I really thought about, is it possible to cut the Chill for something else and just keep in the grids and just, side in grid for protecting against blast. Yeah, maybe I will try this out at some point. So far, I'm quite happy with the sideboard, but in the end, there are a lot of more cards I would like to try. So maybe this is something I can.
And maybe last thing, what I was really surprised, there's no duress, not even one.
Yeah.
There's one Orim's Chant main deck against obviously counter deck. Obviously, when you have Orim's Chant resolved, then you just do whatever you want. For sure. Yeah. But not even one duress is.
My first list had so I was top 8 in German nationals and this year or last year? I think this year. Yeah, and it has 3 duress, and I faced a lot of zero resistance decks, and so it felt quite good because I really took away a library or a sphere of resistance turn 1. But then I've recognized I have a harder time beating foil or sometimes also blue decks, especially game 1, and winning game 1 with the deck is, I think, quite important. And so this Orim's Chant I didn't like it in the beginning because Paul was also playing it, because I said, you can't fetch it, you can't get it, just intuition for it and then it's in your grave. But I really recognize sometimes you don't take the same 3 cards with your intuition, you can take 3 different ones, and the opponent is hard guessing which beats me in this case. And I really had it like casting something at the end of turn, he foiled it, or my opponent foiled it and had no cards in hand, and then I was ill-gotten gaining, or casting ill-gotten gains, and then he took back foil and island and another card, and then it just took back the Orim's Chant and said, yeah, okay, now it's Orim's Chant again, and let's go on, let's do it again. Yeah, so yeah, the card is
fantastic.
Interesting. Yeah, this.
I think what would be amazing if you have a chance for it, it would be great if you write some kind of a primer, because I think a few people know more about it, and it's so intricate, and I think for many people hard to approach it. Like a lot of people would not be even able to build it, even if they could borrow like Lineside Diamond, because they just wouldn't know what to do. How to approach it, how to start it, how to approach the matchup. So maybe like a thesis. Yeah,
it would be like kind of a thesis, because I really think some people also ask me. So also shout out to Anton Glanz, who also was.
Anton is going crazy.
Yeah,
Yes, we're happy for you.
this is awesome, because he was also interviewing me about the list, and he's also a very passionate and Storm player. And he said, yeah, if you can play something like this, there must be more player interested in it. And I said, yeah, totally, but. Believe me, I have so many experience in playing like Solidarity, like Spiral Tide, like INT and TES in Legacy, and nothing felt this complicated. Really, and I'm not making any jokes, and it's not. I don't want to talk about me. It's just really the deck is very hard to play. It's very hard to play because you have to keep in mind. Not only is it enough mana and will it be enough storm, is it the correct mana? So can I go on with blue and black after an intuition and so on? So you have to keep other things in mind, and then the hate pieces of the opponent come into play again.
Yes,
So
yes.
there is really, and I recognized, so this is why I'm also playing it today. The list felt quite good at the last tournaments. I really felt the list with Orange Sound and so on. And so I said, yeah, I really want to play it today. Nevertheless, how it will go, but okay, 6-1. I'm very. I can't say it. I'm very,
That's
very,
fantastic.
very happy.
I think I'm not sure if you can draw for the last round. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe,
but I
but-
definitely want to see you in top 8.
Oh,
Love your
yeah.
passion.
Okay.
Amazing round. Thank you for this. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Philip, I should also offer you a Swedish treat here, candy pipe.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For top 8.
And we'll see you for round 8 in a short time.